Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, September 12th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, and MSTY. And of course, CONY has trades because they always do, and their stupid spreads and all that jazz, but that won't even be what I complain about today. If most of you are probably aware, there have been some changes to the prospectus filed for both YieldMax and Defiance. I want to go through them first, and then we'll cover the trades. So first, we'll talk about YieldMax. So this looks like it's done September 11th, yesterday, and it basically says effective immediately. The fund's distributions for YMAX and YMAG on the top. Fund income all references to each fund's income distributions as monthly income and monthly distributions within the prospectus and SAI are hereby replaced with weekly income and weekly distributions. Okay? So what does this mean? Well, it means YMAX and YMAG, they are going to pay weekly distributions. Now, this is, very unusual, because this is the first time I've seen YieldMax do something based on what their competition is doing. Obviously, there is a need and a request from a lot of different investors who want weekly pay. Obviously, Round Hill, the way they work and the way they've been paying, people have kind of been falling in love with it. And whenever they asked Jay about weekly, he kind of shrugged it off. But I'm very surprised to see that they did it. Not that they did it, but they changed YMAX and YMAG to do it. And my personal opinion on it is I think it's ridiculous. And I'm not a fan, not one bit. And I'll show you why. But basically, I was hoping that they would just make a new fund, a new type of fund, that would be better fit to pay out weekly. Guys, keep in mind, Round Hill trades daily. So if you trade daily, oh yeah, of course, paying weekly actually makes sense. But YieldMax, they trade weekly options, sometimes longer than weekly, sometimes 6, to even 2 weeks, 6 days to 2 weeks out. So how can they pay weekly if they're trading weekly, right? It makes sense because Round Hill, they trade options for the week, for every day, and then they sum it up for the week. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So if YieldMax had a similar fund, maybe trades daily, every other day, something like that, then they could pay weekly. Why mess up a good fund, a good process that got you here in the first place? They are the GOAT after all. They are the leader in the space. Aren't leaders supposed to lead and not follow? But I don't get it, man. And I just want to show you something real quick, and I'll end my bitching soon on this. But I drew up 4 scenarios here. So, and I'm thinking number 1 is basically it. So scenario 1, this is going to kind of work like, I'm going to call it an annuity, right? So the covered call ETFs, which YMAX and YMAG, they invest in, they get paid. Okay, let's just say they get paid $100. Okay, normal payment, right? They get their payment on. Let's see, when's the next one? It's effective immediately. So the next payment is what? September 9th? No, they already got their payment. Okay, so their next payment is September 9th. So they're scheduled to pay us September 19th. So I'm assuming that'll be maybe the first of the weekly payments. I have no freaking idea. But basically, guys, they already got paid from the covered call ETF. So let's just assume they got paid $100. So instead of paying us the $100 on the normal payment date, which is monthly, they're going to pay us $25 that week. And then they're going to pay us another $25 the next week, and then another $25, and then another $25. And then they'll get the next payment, and then they'll start it all over again. So basically, we give them money, and they pay us money, in installments, because, we're too dumb to handle our money. We can't budget our own money. So basically, here's my money. Give it to me, mommy, when I'm ready. I mean, this is just, in my opinion, this is stupid. Give me the money up front when you get paid, 1 to 2 weeks out, however you've been doing this, and then I'll do what I want with that money. I don't want it over weekly freaking installments. I don't know. It doesn't fit well with this fund. And that's what I'm trying to say. I know people were bitching at me or disagreeing with me in the Discord yesterday, but not a fan, not on this fund, man. I love weekly pay, but not on this fund. And I think they gave in. All right, the other scenario is they could just estimate what the covered call ETF is going to pay. So we'll call this an advance/estimate. And they'll pay us, say, $25 each week, and then hopefully they'll get paid the $100. This is likely not to happen because this will probably screw up their numbers, their financials and everything, but it's a possibility. Another option is these may work now as target percent ETFs, meaning they'll just pay us a target yield based on historical data, and they'll modify it accordingly. Again, I didn't see anything of that type of wording in the prospectus, but basically, say 40%, for example, you take 40% divided by 52 weeks, we'll get paid 0.77% against the current price of the ETF. Again, very doubtful, but just another scenario. And then last but not least is they change all the covered call ETFs to weekly. I would have thought they would have done that first before this, so I definitely don't think this is happening. However, you never know. So all that would mean is when you get paid weekly on the covered call ETF, obviously it goes to YieldMax, and then they'll turn it around to you right away. So I don't know. All scenarios are stupid, in my opinion. I don't think it's needed, and I'm not a fan. I'm sorry, I'm not. If you guys have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it, but no, not for me, man. All right, so what about Defiance? So Defiance also had some changes. I got 3 screen prints here, and we'll go over it real quick because I know people, the only reason they're here is to watch the trades. But sorry, I have to cover this because I don't have any time to do another video today. But Defiance is changing to 0 DTE. So basically it says that they, typically trade into the next day. And, but basically they can have options that expire same day expiration. Okay. Obviously, this is comparable with Roundhill. So they're giving into Roundhill, but I think this is actually really, really good idea because the reason they're doing this is after hours pre-market, a lot of the gains happen, during that time. So, I think they still have the flexibility to do it over, across days. So it could be 0 days to 1 week. So again, I think this is a smart move. Also, what are they doing? They're doing weekly distributions. But this makes sense because they trade daily, right? They do daily options. So, if you do it every single day, all right, they'll pay us at the end of the week or the following week or whatever. Say, okay, that part makes sense. And last but not least, the fund will seek a minimum daily income of 0.15%. I believe this used to be 0.25% to my knowledge. So this is also a change of being less aggressive. So again, very, very interesting stuff here. And last but not least, JEPY, JEPY, is changing its name from JEPY to WDTE. I don't know if the others are changing their name, but I mean, what the hell? It's, I don't know. They're like, that's unnecessary, but it is what it is. I don't know, unless they were forced to, because JEPY sued them. Who the hell knows? JEPI, I mean, because the name. I don't know, man. What happened here? Like this part doesn't make sense. However, them changing to be able to trade 0 DTE and changing to weekly, that part I agree for Defiance. But the name change, I don't know, whatever. I'll just say whatever to the name change. And YieldMax's move, I don't get it. But anyway, let's get to the trades. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for bitching, but I just wanted to give my opinion on the recent change. All right. Only CONY had a trade, thank God. But an annoying one at that. So what did they do? Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. They sold a call, BC the put. Okay, that means they closed out their synthetic 7,600 contracts. And they added it to a 155. This is a new synthetic position. They created a 155 synthetic. They did a buy, call, sell, put. You'll notice, though, it says 8,240. Why is it more? Well, that's because they had more investors buy into the fund. So this is them adding contracts to this synthetic at the same time. They're rolling over essentially the other contracts. So obviously, an increase there, about 640. So because if you see on the bottom, they used that extra 640 and they sold a call into next week, 9/20 expiration, 162.50. And guess what followed? Of course, yes, they're purchasing a call. So credit call spread, 172.50. It's their $10, always $10 more. So we'll see what that looks like on the spreadsheet. Okay, guys, here we go. 175. This is the closeout. They paid, it was 7,600 contracts. They paid 12.9 million to close that because it was 10.2% away. This contract, this synthetic actually expired in 37 days. So I don't believe there was any real rush to do anything here. However, they did, right? Again, this could be some tax advantage before the closeout of the year, which is coming up. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But so they moved them to the 155, but as far as the 195 is concerned, it's still sitting there. That has 27,105 contracts. We'll see how that one plays out. And here's the 8,240 contracts added to the new synthetic 155. Cost them 2.3 million to add into that. This synthetic, though, same expiration, only 10/18. I thought they'd go out a little further. So this is 37 days away. Obviously, it's a much more attainable number because coin has been tanking, man. Coin has been taking a freaking beating. So now we're at the level of essentially where it's at. So hopefully they can have a recovery here, make some money. But again, the synthetic is what it is. The underlying does what it does. We can't really control that. We're just playing musical strikes for now. So let's move on to the September tab. Enough about freaking synthetics. All right, so coin, what did coin do yesterday? Coin took a dump. It was bad. It was really ugly early in the day. And it got to a decent recovery. So in the end, it only went down 0.78%. That's really good, though. And then CONY only went down 0.33%. So all in all, not bad. All right, so let's take a look at all of the freaking trades. First, they added the 640. We knew that, right? They added 640 contracts. And this expires into next Friday, 9/20. This is a 162.50 strike, 3.4% out of the money. This is an annualized yield of 112%, right? So normally we'd be like, what the hell are you doing? This is too aggressive. However, they have a credit call spread. They purchased a call with a strike above, the sold call strike. Same contracts, same expiration. Okay, they chose a 172.50. This is 9.77% out of the money. This eats into the premium income that they made, above. So if you look at the annualized yield, again, you'll have to net the two together. And you get 66% maybe, which is kind of in line with their 30-day IV. So it actually makes sense, right? This is how much essentially they would have yielded on a normal trade. So now the question is, would we have rather they say, sold a call, let's just say at a 166 strike price, 167 strike price, yielding, the same yield? Or would we much rather prefer this way? I mean, again, the advantage of doing it this way is if coin decides to blow past the 160.250 and even blow past the 172.50, we will actually make money on this call. Again, this is a buy call, which we'll eventually have to sell to close out. We don't want to sell it for a penny. We actually want to make a profit. So the only way we're going to make a profit if it blows through that. So again, I'm trying to explain these the best I can each and every day. I know this fund just got a little more complicated, obviously, but look at this, man. It's just I can't even find. Look at all this scattered-do here. Is this even? Yeah, there's 167. Let me look at the holdings real quick. Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, man. All right, I'll try to go through this real quick. So today's Thursday. They have this contract on the top, expires tomorrow. 16,505 contracts, 160 strike price. That's 1.81% out of the money. So obviously that one is in danger, but lurking next to it is the 170, which I don't know if coin's going to hit that, if it's going to be worth anything. It may just close out, be worth nothing. Then they have 6,000 contracts, 162.50 strike, 3.4% out of the money. This expires next week though. So again, we'll see how that plays out. They have 162.50 down below. That's what they added. And then they have 6,100 contracts that expire tomorrow, 160 strike price, 1.81% out of the money. And then they have 1,100 contracts, 162.50, 3.4% expires tomorrow. So again, it's a little harder. I'm not going to go through every freaking, call, the whole credit spread, but hopefully you get the point now. I know CONY's, again, it's becoming a nuisance, but it is what it is. If you enjoy the strategy, then good. But, obviously just because it's a nuisance for me to track doesn't mean it's not a better strategy overall. Outstanding shares increased by 925,000. Obviously, that's why they were able to add these 640 contracts. 30-day IV, 68%. Outstanding shares, 45.9 mil. Weekly call income, 6.3 million. Distribution, 14 cents. Daily income, 2 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.16%. If you annualize that, that's 59%. So not terrible. And yes, I'm leaving. Bye, CONY. I am leaving you. No. Not yet, but I'm about to. It's the best icon I could find. All right, so let's look at synthetic income. We got September synthetic. It's a loss of 20 mil. Obviously, their synthetics have been getting, a little destroyed there, but their short call income, 6.3 million. All right, so if we take that comes to about 14 cents per share, and we throw that into the Rotomator. The estimate then would be 56 cents, which is a 55% yield. Obviously, not what you want to see. So if we look at the IV, based on that, it would be a 69 cents, which is a little better. Consider this if it's a low-high, ranges for the new estimate. But obviously, if coin decides to go to the moon, we're going to get some synthetic income that could be paid out prior to the next payment. And it's very early in the month, so these estimates are really, shot in the dark here. So as far as synthetics go, obviously the 155 replaced, the 175. So, but you see the 195, that's going to cost us 108 million as of today. We'll see how that plays out. In orange, that's the buy call. That's how much they're worth, not much. And then everything in between, credit call spreads. I tried to color code the ones that go together. And are they still I didn't check it since the new load, but yeah, it looks like it's still good. So I don't know, man. We'll see how they play out. Total net assets of CONY, 556.8 mil. The NAV is 12.12 and the trade price is 12.13. All right. No other trades, FYI. So that means since we did CONY, we will do its best friend, MSTY. MSTY. The big boy MSTY. What do they got? They got a synthetic 139, 6.98% away from that. However, it expires in 37 days. So again, I don't see a need to touch that at the moment. How did MSTR do yesterday? Well, they went down 0.28%. MSTY went up 0.47%. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I think so. All right, so let's see what we're dealing with for this week. Again, tomorrow is expiration date. So, and tomorrow's, obviously 9/13. So what do we got? We got 33,815 contracts at a 132 strike price, 2.09% out of the money. Oh boy, that's close. 400 contracts, 131 strike price, 1.31% out of the money. That's even closer. 575 contracts, 133 strike, 2.86% out of the money. Yeah, all super close with 2 trading days. But again, crypto, I don't know, man. We're kind of like, we're red one day, we're green one day, we're red one day. So we'll probably be a little green today. Then Friday, maybe we'll be red. And then maybe we'll close out in a profit. Hopefully, we'll see. All right, as far as outstanding shares, nothing. Yeah, right. I bought 100 yesterday. I added it to my dividend car portfolio because my average kind of sucks because, of course, my timing sucked. But yeah, I know I keep talking about that. I'll do a video on that at some point when I get the new statement. 30-day IV for MSTR is 82%, which is really, really good. Outstanding shares, 22.2 mil. Weekly call income, 9 mil. That's a distribution of 41 cents, a daily income of 6 cents a day, a daily yield of 0.27%. And if you annualize that, that's 99.65%. So far, so good. They're doing very well. Hopefully this week does not ruin it and then they blow through their strikes. If you see the reaction, all it is a flat line. That's kind of how I'm hoping the MSTR chart goes the rest of the week. So, we can close out winning our weekly calls. That's what it's all about. Want to make premium, right? I don't want to lose money. Of course, I want MSTR to go up, but I want it to go up enough that we're actually capturing the upside as a MSTY shareholder, okay? So that's why the flat line. Payment information. Let's see where we're at here. We got a synthetic loss of 2.4 mil, short call income, 9 mil. Now that comes to about 41 cents per share, all right? Throw that into the Rotomator, and we got $1.62, which is a 92% yield. Hey, I'll take that all day, baby. That'll be enough to pay off the car, for the month. And then the IV is 82%, so that would be a little less, 145. So again, think of, low and high, 145 to 162 range. All right, holdings. Again, they got 1 synthetic. They got 3 different call strikes. Pretty simple. So we'll see how it plays out. If MSTR, maybe tanks today, then maybe they could close these out early. I don't know. Most of the time, they kind of let it go. But if you get an opportunity to close out your MSTR calls early, you should do that because you never know, man. You never know. Don't mess with them. All right, the total net assets is 469 mil. The NAV is 2108, and the trade price is 2120. Okay, who's next? Mr. NVDY himself. NVDY has what? They just have the 109 synthetic, 86,940 contracts. And they're 7.14% above their strike, which means if they close this out, they could make money. Woohoo! I feel like we haven't made money on a freaking synthetic in so damn long. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But if the synthetic's doing well, the weeklies maybe not so much. So let's go take a look. Okay. All right. So look at yesterday, man. Yesterday was nuts. Oh man, look at that. NVIDIA, by the way, I'm very happy about this because I had my son, who's 8 years old, one of my sons, he's 8, he has a brokerage. He had some money. I sold out of his Starbucks, and the cash was sitting there. I'm like, you know what? Let me buy it. I was supposed to buy him NVIDIA on Friday. I completely forgot. So I bought it a little yesterday, and then it went red. I'm like, crap, he's already down. But in the end, NVIDIA actually flipped green. So I'm super proud that I feel like I made a good purchase. So I bought him 3 shares of NVIDIA. He has another 10 years till he can touch it. So, I figure NVIDIA, they would have, pretty good profits over the next 10 years. We'll see how things go. Anyway, enough about that. NVIDIA did go up 8.03%. Massive. But look at NVDY, man. Sucks. Really sucks. I would have loved to get like 7% of that, but we only got 4.2% as an NVDY shareholder. So they I mean, you can't complain. They still went up. We're at 22 now. We were in danger zone. They were at, I don't know. I don't know the lowest they got. I'm sure they hit under 20 at some point, but it was getting scary for a second. All right, so let's zoom out and see where we're at for the week. All right, so we go back. Here we are. So we got what? What do we got going? Here's the problem. These contracts, they expire next week. So although, yeah, it sucks, we're capped through next week. Tomorrow's 9/13. Next Friday's 9/20. We're 3.24% in the money. So if NVIDIA has any type of upside from now until next Friday, we're just going to sit there and take it, right? We're going to take the beating. The good news is our synthetic will make the profit. So anyway, here's the summary. 86,940 contracts, 113 strike, 3.24% of the money, in the money. So our strike for the calls is 113. Our synthetic is 109, right? If we go to our synthetic, it's 109. So the buy call on the 109 is going to be worth more than the sell call debit for the 113. So that's good. Outstanding shares, any change? No. All right, so easy enough. 30-day IV, 53.5%. Outstanding shares is 41,125,000. Total net income from the weekly calls, 10.9 mil. Distribution comes to 27 cents per share. Daily income, 4 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.17%. Annualized yield, 60%. So pretty good numbers. Can't complain. However, we are about to be bailed out, right? What does this mean? This means a synthetic bailout, which means when they close the weeklies and when they get blown through, when they're drowning, essentially, and they take a massive hit on the weeklies, what do? They close out the synthetic. They essentially roll it up, roll the strike price up, but they take a huge profit, and it'll offset, obviously, the debit. And in the end, luckily, in this scenario, they will be making a net profit. So expect a bailout possibly this week or next week, unless NVIDIA tanks. Of course, NVIDIA can go down and they may not have to use, their bailout for the month, but we'll see. Okay, so what do we got here? We got synthetic income of not negative, but it's a loss. It's 65.3 mil. So again, no one's really making money on synthetics, unfortunately. But that may change for NVIDIA very shortly. Short call income is 10.9 mil. We said that's 27 cents per share, right? Just want to make sure we have that same number, 27 cents. Yep. And what does that come to on the Rotometer? It comes to about $1.06, which is a 56% yield. Is that good? Yeah. Hell yeah, that's good. Based on the IV, 54%, you get $1.02. So again, think of this as low and high ranges. So pretty good numbers there. I think so. Outstanding holdings. What are we doing here? Well, we got, the synthetic 109 hanging out, waiting. You see what the call's worth? 111 mil, right? So you take out the net. If you net these three together, yes, we'll be in a profit. Okay. So that's all that matters. So essentially, I have this synthetic bailout money. It's probably about time we start using the formula. So what would you do? You would do this equals, first you take the put, because that costs money to close. And then you go down here. And then you got to take the call. That costs money to close. But we will make a profit on the buy call. And then if you net these three together, they could make $20 million when all said and done. Obviously, this will, increase the synthetic income on the payment tab and decrease the weekly income on, the payment tab. So, in the end, the net income is really, what matters. But we'll see what happens, though. They still, again, these contracts, they don't expire tomorrow. They expire next week. So we have 7 days. NVIDIA can take another crap by then. So total net assets is, they are 940 mil. The NAV is 22.88. Trade price 22.85 as of the close. Okay, so good job, NVIDIA. Now, if we look at TSLY, what do they got? They got a 225 synthetic. They're actually up 1.39%. Good job. And then they have a 230 synthetic. They're down 0.81%. Both of these synthetics, this is the only synthetic that goes out to 11.15, at least from the funds that I'm covering, which is awesome. Also, there's earnings before that, so anything can happen. But right now, they look pretty good. How did Tesla close yesterday? Oh man, Tesla was everywhere yesterday. Awesome stock to trade on options. But anyway, Tesla went up for the day 0.9%. TSLY went up 0.62%. Okay, not bad at all. Now let's get the zoomed out numbers. All right, there we go. What do we got? We got all eggs in one basket as usual. 230 strike price, 63 contracts. 0.82% out of the money. 0.82% out of the money. And also, these contracts, they're split. 1,315 expire tomorrow. So maybe that one's okay. But then we got the other one expires next freaking week. So we kind of want Tesla to not move, right? Or else we're going to lose the weekly calls. Again, these strikes at the time, 6% out of the money, 9% out of the money, which, it's not really that great. But 6% is not that great over that long of a period, but I don't know. Obviously, that's why trading Tesla is just crazy, especially if you're using all of the money in the fund. It is what it is, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Outstanding shares went down. People said, I'm leaving you, TSLY. It went down 275,000. 30-day EV, 62%. Outstanding shares, 52,650,000. Weekly call income is a loss of 31 mil. So we will stop from there. Moving on to the reaction tab. We kind of said good boy, right? I put a dog. We said good boy. Why? Because look at where we're at, 0.78% of the money. But Tesla, it didn't go up too high. So we're saying good boy Tesla. All right, so what do we got here? Synthetic income, 44 mil. Oh my God, we got synthetic income. Good thing, because we have a loss on the weeklies of 31 mil. So that's a net income of 12.7 mil, 24 cents per share. This is the ASAT estimate based on total income. Obviously, we can't use the short call income on the Rotomator, so we'll look at the IV estimate, and that comes to 67 cents based on a 62% IV. All right, holdings, what do we got? We got synthetics hanging around. We got weekly calls. Again, 2 different expirations. We'll see how this plays out, but right now we're essentially like capped, TSLY fund manager still wearing the cap around the office because he knows he's capped this week and next week. Anyway, total net assets, 685 mil. The NAV is 1301. The trade price is 12.99. Okay. All right. That's all the funds. That's all the bitching about the weekly thing. And we will go to the pre-market. All right. So someone did ask me to save you more time. Can you eliminate this part? Because I don't watch this part. And, make sure to keep CONY. But this part, honestly, this is the only easy part that I have. This is mainly for me, so I can look at the pre-market and see if there's any drastic, anything going on, so we could talk about it. But it's as simple as loading a page and, and me talking about the other part of my videos. Obviously, it's me entering spreadsheets, this, that, and the other thing. So it's a lot involved. This is the only easy part of my video. So taking this away would not be a benefit at all. So I just wanted to clarify that. All right, so Tesla is down 0.34%. It's at 227.35. TSLY is up 0.31%. It's at 1303. NVDY is up 0.75%. It's at 117.78. We don't need to hear that. But NVDY is up. They're capturing some, 0.39%, 22.94. CONY is up 2.07%. They're at 160.40. CONY is up 1.65%. They're at 12.33. MSTR is up 1.72%. They're at 131.50. MSTY is up 1.18%. They're at 21.45. TSLL is down 0.65%. They're at 10.66. I sold all my TSLL calls. I had 3 contracts, 300 shares. I sold all 3 at a $10 strike price. So if this closes above 10 by the close tomorrow, bye-bye shares. If not, I keep my shares. I do it again. That's the beauty of the options. All right, what about TNA? Well, TNA, they're up 1.63%. I don't have shares of those, but I do have a put pending at, I forget the strike, but it's definitely lower than that. AMDY, no update. I'm about to freaking remove you. AMZ, no update. I'm about to remove your ass too. BTC is up 0.66%. It's at 58,029. And last but not least, my other options friend, BitX. They are up 1.35% at 24.79. All right, so that is the update on everything. Again, sorry, sometimes I have to combine certain things. Believe me, I did want to make a separate video on the weekly issue, but I was like, you can't. There's no time. So a lot of it it gets thrown into the daily video. So hopefully people don't mind. But if you do, I don't know, fast forward. What can I say? But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and freaking entertainment, all right? So hopefully you're entertained. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully all that. If not, we'll try again tomorrow, okay? We'll do our best. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It goes a long way. And yeah, let me know in the comments a couple things, right? What do you think about YieldMax changing YMax and YMag to weekly? Honestly, ignore what I said about it. I want to know what your thoughts are. And as far as Defiance, I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. Defiance, that's clear competition, them versus Roundhill. I don't even consider Roundhill competition for YieldMax. Obviously, they're taking the same type of investors' money, but the strategies are different. So I like the Defiance move, but let me know if you disagree on that. And yeah, also, as far as, the CONY and their credit call spreads, if you're a CONY shareholder, like, is this making you happy, or do you not care? I don't know. Either way, just let me know. But yeah, outside of that, that's all I really got for the day. I think that was enough. What time is it? It shows 5:57 a.m. So yeah, I got to get this loaded into YouTube land, post it for you guys, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, I'm out of here, but I will do a keyword, and this keyword today is based on what happened yesterday, and it's freaking weekly. Why am I saying freaking weekly? Because everyone is out there complaining. They want to get weekly pay, and here we are. They're screwing up YMax. They're screwing up YMag, all because of the freaking complaints. So you know what? Freaking weekly. There's the keyword. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, all you have to do is type in the comments, freaking weekly, right? You're ruining the YMax, right? You're ruining the YMag. It's got a good thing going. Now, I'm getting paid in installments. No, thank you. No soup for you. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.